My final thesis project is located in Malaysia, Alor, Kedah. Alor is the capital of Kedah, located in the northwestern part of the Peninsula Malaysia, which at the edge of the Malacca Strait. The urban pattern is established at 17th century by the first urban settlement located along the river, as the river is the main transportation at that time for the mobility and trading. Early 19th century, the transportation started to shift from the water to the land when the railway system and the bridge was established and the urban sprawl started. The urban fabric cut off by the busy vehicle lane and formed a big gap between the urban paths. The shophouses is the main building typology that gather at the old town, which built by the first Chinese settlement, but unfortunately the town is neglected. Shophouses destroy, demolition, and empty burial front. The culture and the identity is fading away from the town. In my 5A study, the mobility and the culture, as well as the local business, become the main issue to concern to rejuvenate the town. The animation show how the transport mode change that will affect the people moving around in the town. The beautiful facade of the shophouses in a row form a beautiful street elevations and create a strong identities for the town of Alor. To avoid the demolition of the shophouses and replaced by the new development, I have a proposal that I developed throughout the year to avoid this to happen. This project is to reinterpret the indigenous of Alor Old Town in order to bring back the connectivity and the workability of the street in the town by developing a good mobility planning for the people and goods. Develop a contemporary program from the local industry and the architectural intervention that act as the catalyst to bring back the vibrant town. First of all, we need to understand what type of the local industry are currently existing in Alor. During the site mapping and analysis in my 5A study, I categorized them into the 4 categories, which is trading, business, craft industry, food culture, and the accommodations. They have a very different busy hour for the people during a day due to different characteristics. The map is filled with different color to define these 4 categories. The color bubble is a good loading analysis. The analysis is according to the frequency and the quantity of the goods loading per day or per weeks. From this color bubble diagram, we can easily map out the traffic condition and the needed capacity for the goods loading for the specific industry. We can observe that the Jalan Tunku Yapku is the busiest route and the goods mobility in the town. From the analysis and the site mapping, I come up with a mobility plan that really solves the traffic congestion and the goods mobility in the town. We try to bring back the water transportations as a part of the culture preserve, at the same time provide an alternative transport mode for the people access to the town. The shophouses frontage determine the density of the people moving around and the goods loading capacity is needed. Reimage the primary active lane according to the shophouses frontage to populate the street with the pedestrians. The active lane is included extended sidewalk, bike lane, bus lane, and the single one-way vehicle lane. I also convert 2 streets into the cultural and identity car-free zone and connect the opposite residential area by convert the abandoned railway bridge into the pedestrian bridge to populate the town. Design a hybrid lane to serve the service and the pedestrian. The service lane is designed according to the bubble diagram, bring back the function of the back lane for the service and return the front house to the lively walkable street. Introduce the contemporary program to bring back the young generation to rejuvenate the town. Let's get into the more realistic visualization. This is the Alor town. I am focusing on the old town and the rear front. The primary active street is include the lively rear park, which connect to the port terminal, extended sidewalk, bus lane, single and one-way vehicles, and the design car park area stretch along the rear parks and turn into the street that facing by the tour of the shophouses. The beautiful extended sidewalk allow extend the program from the shophouses to the street to create a strong character for the street. The cultural street is the car-free zone that formed by the side wall of the shophouses. The MoMA program is introduced to draw the people move around the street. The identity zone is to bring back the memory of the good old day when the people move around with the foot, trishaw, bicycle with the busy shop front. I try to reimage the backlink into a beautiful streetscape to attract people move and gather around at the same time serving the service when needed. Let's zoom in to discuss how the architectural interventions integrate with the program and the mobility plan. Here I have 6 proposals in the town to reinterpret the indigenous of the Alostar Old Town. The first proposal is the port terminal to bring back the water transport system for the people and goods mobility. The terminal is located at the corner in the town, which is the former port at the past. Create a permeability from organization and maximize the view of the beautiful corner at the river. Redefine the edge to bring in the waters for the pontoon terminal design, which respond to the tidal change. Take a considerations of the access from buses, vehicles and the lorry to the port terminal. Bike and pedestrian lane is designed to connect the rear parks and the 5-foot walkway of the shophouses. Elevate an urban block that respect to the height of the shophouses and respond to the river. Create a beautiful skyline from the town to the river. Bring back the indigenous building typology, courtyard, open facade, peak roof to celebrate the tropics weather. The building is well set next to the existing lighthouse to recall back the memory and the function of it. The simple pitch roof with the opening allow the trees in the courtyard grow out and dominate the primary visuals of the place and create a walkable street under the shadings of the tree. The terminal not only serves the function as terminal but yet social platform for the people gather around. Terminal is the key to let the riverfront evolve into a truly inviting district. The port is designed next to the terminal for the goods and stretch along the riverfront. The port provides a simple big shed for the land transportation loading and processing area. After this, you'll pass through the office and the temporary storage area and come to the pontoon platform, which stretch 50 meters along the riverfront for the goods loading from the boat. The pontoon platform is linked to the river park as well to create a good connectivity and accessibility to the river from the town. The next 3 projects is focusing on the cultural street. The site is the abandoned courtyard space formed by a back house of the shophouses. The food store is built illegally and the old wet market is not well planned. The lane is blocked by the goods. I start from reimage the street into the car-free zone, create an urban block to maximize the site, follow the urban pattern axis to increase the node to enhance the connectivity and walkability. Split the 3 meshing into different programs, which is Food Hall, Rattan Craft Innovation Center, and Wet Market. Design demonstrate the integration of the public spaces, street architecture, and the program. The surface land is planned for the good loading according to the color bubble diagram analysis. The aerial views show the relationship of each other and to the street. Food Hall and the Wet Market is the existing program that well convey the culture of the place. The Rattan Craft Innovation Center is to extend the Rattan craft culture. The site is the good location for the center as the existing Rattan craft industry in the shophouses is next to it. The shophouses can treat as a living museum for the visitor. In Alostar, there are many kinds of ways to having the food. Roadside, standing, typical restaurant, late night supper store, and much more. In the proposal for the food hall is going to gather all possibilities of way under the one roof. The open space and the indoor spaces provide an flexibility to enjoy the food in their way. The upper floor is painted with the orange color is to symbolize the energetic of the town by bringing the young generation back to the town. The polycarbonate as the envelope of the building is to reflect the program inside to the street and provide a connectivity in another way. The concrete is extend from the ground to the facade create a strong sense of continuities from outdoor to indoor, public to private, and create a very welcoming feeling to draw people into the building. The market is divided into the wet and dry market, with the public spaces in the middle to connect them together. The three-dimensional landscape is designed to create interest for the children and young generation to gather around there during or after the operations of the market. The Rattan Craft Innovation Center are providing the workshop program to let the visitor to experience the rattan craft by making a small handicraft product. The bigger production area is provided on the ground floor with the large opening that allow the public can have a better understanding of the process from raw material to end product. I think this is another way to extend the craft culture as well. The loading and the storage is located near and linked to the production area. The facade offset to respond to the existing trees create a triangle public spaces for the people. The rattan made facade also well convey the program of the rattan craft and give a strong identity for the public. In this building, I tried to bring back the courtyard building typology that inspired by the shop houses to maximize the daylight and the ventilation for the building. And the most importantly, the courtyard can act as a focus space that create a strong connectivity and the relationship between floor to floor. The next project is to reimage the shop houses. As we know, the shop houses is built in a narrow and long profile. The layout of the shop houses is the main issue that caused the local industries move out to the bigger factory during the industrial revolutions. This project is to redefine the space of the shop houses in a row by analyzing the space that needed from the different industries and look into the possibility intersection space that they can share together to break the narrow and boring grid line of the shop houses and turn into more dynamic and hierarchy spaces to meet the need from the different character. The section drawing show how the common space can share by a different industry. For example, exhibitions, fashion show, public cinema, and the sitting area for the cafe and bakery. Instead of creating a strong party wall to define the program clearly, the shared space will let the space occupied by different people with different creativity and possibility that will make the space more sustainable. The last project is to convert the abandoned modernism complex into the lively neighborhood that working and living under one roof. The social platform and walkable amenities is the most important things we need to concern about in this project. Unfortunately, the ground floor is occupied by the car parking for now. Follow the mobility strategy planning. The demand of the car parking is reduced. The car parking space can be turned into the lively amenities areas for the people who live in this building. The three-dimensional landscape connect from the ground to the first floor and provide a shade to the basement area with the tree grow from the ground connect the space together in a vertical way. I call it the mountain for this project. The section drawing shows the connectivity between the first floor and the ground floor that connect by the mountain that I intend to highlight in orange color to promote or introduce the gray zone between the public and the private. The next section is to show the integration of the mobility planning program and the architecture interventions that makes the town connect together. Let's enjoy the walkthrough video that will bring you to the vibrant Alota town in the future.